What's up guys, Nerd here, coming at you with something a little different, mainly for my Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon fans. I feel like I've been neglecting you lately with all this Overwatch stuff going on. Making a video for fun, just to show you my Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Card collection. All these cards are graded by PSA, and almost all of them are Gem Mint PSA 10 first editions. Now, I of course didn't pay for these cards up front. I instead bought the raw cards, sent them in to be graded myself, and tried to flip them. So that basically means I bought the card for, let's say, $20, took a chance, sent it out, and hoped that it got a 10. Now sometimes it did take multiple tries to get the 10s, but once you do get the 10s, the value of the card goes up dramatically. In this video, we'll take a look at each of these cards one by one, and then we'll take a closer look of the cards themselves. I'll also go to eBay and find the most recent price sold for one of these cards, and I'll put that price next to the card's image so you get an idea for how much these are worth. That said, we have a lot of cards to get through, so let's get started. We'll start with my shiny collection first. I have a PSA 10 Shining Magikarp that I flipped. I think I bought the card for about 60 bucks, and then I got a PSA 10. Next up is Shining Kabutops. Same idea, bought the raw card, sent it in, flipped it, PSA 10. Shining Mewtwo, did not flip this one, saved up a bit of money, bought it when its value was a little bit lower than it usually is on eBay. Shining Charizard, same idea, also wasn't able to get the raw card. The raw cards are also pretty expensive anyways, so I just bought this one outright. Shining Steelix, I flipped this card. Shining Celebi, I also flipped this card. This was a fun one. This is one of my first Shinings that I got. Shining Raichu, I flipped this one alongside the Celebi. Very pretty card. And Shining Noctowl, also flipped this. We're going to get into a mix of cards now, some Pokemon, some Yu-Gi-Oh! For Yu-Gi-Oh! I really tried to collect all the secret rares, so those are your 000 card numbers. Up first we have Vampire Lord. Switching back to Pokemon, we have Raikou. I was able to flip this from buying somebody's collection. Pretty awesome. Actually, I have all 3 legendary dogs. First edition PSA 10 that I flipped from somebody's collection. So that is one of my more prized possessions. 2 other cards I was able to flip from a person's collection was a Ho-Oh and a Lugia. Also very rare cards, hard to come by, PSA 10s. One of the more sought after Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, Chaos Emperor Dragon, first edition, secret rare. Moving into several Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, we have Gemini Elf, first edition, secret rare. Yatagarasu, first edition, secret rare. Oh, I guess I really don't need to tell you that they're first edition. All these cards are PSA 10, first edition, so. Ring of Destruction, one of my personal favorites, Jinzo, and the favorite of many others. The End of Anubis. 2 very old and hard to come by cards, Trihorn Dragon and Gate Guardian. Moving on to another mix, we have the 3 God cards. Not the secret rares, just the ultras. A card that I really wanted was Change of Heart, ultra rare first edition. Took me a while to find this actually. Glad I did. Another neat set here for Pokemon is Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno. I have all 3 of those legendary birds. Moving on to another set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, we have Mystical Elf, the Toon Collection now with Toon World, Toon Goblin Attack Force, Toon Summon Skull, Toon Mermaid, Toon Dark Magician Girl, which we're gonna leave to the side for a second, and then Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon, also one of my favorite cards. In the next set here, we have nothing but Dark Magician Girls. So these are Dark Magician Girls across all aspects of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card years. We start with the 2009 Dark Magician Girl, moving to the 2005 Collector's Tin, which I also flipped. The Japanese 2008 Special Edition Dark Magician Girl in blue. A card that I was very proud to flip. One of the first cards I ever flipped was this secret rare Dark Magician Girl from 2003. A very, very valuable card, and also probably in my top 3 favorite. Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, 2014. Another Toon Dark Magician Girl, but these actually both come from one of the Manga Shonen Jump booklets, whatever you want to call them. One's from 2004 and one's from 2006. The reason these are so rare is because when you peel them out of those booklets, they usually have a glue stick on the back of the cards, and they're very hard to get PSA 10s. But I sent in like, I don't know, 10 or 20 of these just to get the PSA 10 versions. There's only a few in the world. And lastly, the 2016 newest Dark Magician Girl. One of my most valuable cards is the PSA 10 Shadowless Mewtwo. I actually flipped this from a 9.5 Beckett grade. After reviewing it, I thought it would get a 10, so I sent it in, and luckily it did get a 10. Some pretty cool cards here. These are the box topper cards that were released in 2002 and 2003. I have a 2003 Ho-Oh, I have a 2002 Mewtwo, and I have a 2002 Charizard. And that's really about it. I hope you guys enjoyed that look at my collection. Now I have to put all these back in their frames. So please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll try to do something later. If you're more curious about card flipping, I could always do a video on that. Just let me know if you're interested. See ya.